2019 Mercedes-Benz Sprinter car review. Mercedes-Benz was basically hesitant to launch the Europe-developed Sprinter van in America. The concern was that the market could be confused by way of a luxury brand selling a motor vehicle mostly for commercial use, understanding that the blue-collar audience for commercial vans didn't exactly align while using image Mercedes-Benz had devised for its luxury sedans and sports cars. But the market only agreed to be too large to ignore, and so the Sprinter set sail for America. As it turns out, the Sprinter have not only been the sales success here it swore in Mercedes-Benz, Freightliner, and Dodge badges in recent times but happens to be something of the cult vehicle. Now the Sprinter is completely redone, with an all-new generation launching for that 2019 model year. The good points of 2019 Mercedes-Benz Sprinter: handsome within a van kinda way, cutting-edge infotainment, comfortable ride. The bad points of 2019 Mercedes-Benz Sprinter: wonky voice controls, hard-surfaced interior, no manual for people. In tandem together with the new model, Mercedes-Benz upped its deal with the segment by investing $500 million into the South Carolina plant where vans are still reassembled from knock-down kits. The new space has a body, a paint, along with a full assembly line, which marks a significant shift in how MB's vans is going to be built. Instead of manufacturing the vans overseas, partially disassembling a lot of them, and reassembling them in America, a tactic used only about the cargo versions with the vans in order to avoid a trade tariff on imported trucks, the chicken tax, all U.S. market Sprinters will probably be assembled completely in South Carolina. This will accommodate faster production times, quicker delivery, and much better profit margins. The United States may be the second biggest van marketplace for Mercedes-Benz, after Germany. Dealers moved 6,622 Sprinters inside the U.S. inside the first 90 days of this year, although that's just about half the amount with the brand's best-selling passenger car, the Class. And those numbers still pale in comparison with all the more than 30,000 Transits that Ford sold, not including smaller Transit Connect inside same period. But Mercedes-Benz hopes the modern plant as well as a now new product might help close the gap. Hey, Mercedes! As proof how important the Sprinter would be to Mercedes, it's only the second U.S. market vehicle to obtain the brand's new infotainment system called BUX. That's short for Mercedes-Benz User Experience. Customers develop the choice coming from a 7.0 or possibly a 10.3-inch touchscreen positioned atop the dashboard. The touchscreen is often a first to the Sprinter and are going to be a first for other Mercedes-Benz vehicles after the system is incorporated through the brand lineup. Drivers or passengers can operate in BUX via touch, voice, or steering wheel controls. The touchscreen is to establish with a fairly typical smartphone-type architecture. As was the case together with the previous Mercedes-Benz infotainment system, learning the layers and hierarchy takes a long time but is simple enough. Scrollable menus and clearly marked icons aid navigation. There is really a volume rocker switch for individuals who prefer physical buttons. The tire features a couple of touchpads and button layouts. The left side, that has cruise control switches, operates the in-cluster information screen. The right side controls the primary head unit screen with buttons for phone, menu, back, and voice control. The new voice control system is usually a big deal for Mercedes-Benz. The basic technology has become in the company's vehicles for a long time now, as would be the norm today, though in BUX, the strategy is built to figure as a personal assistant much like Apple's Siri or Amazon's Alexa. The method is activated every time it hears the phrase Mercedes, although conversing with an accent confused the device during a demonstration. It even picks up the phrase during casual conversation, an issue that annoyingly happened many times during our try. It doesn't call for a phrase like, "Hey, Siri to activate." What distinguishes the Sprinter's version of MBUX is really a new telematics feature called ProConnect, devised for commercial users. The program, which pairs using a specially developed smartphone app, allows businesses to deliver messages and destinations to fleet drivers, see live tracking and vehicle information, use artificial intelligence to discern better driving habits, that will create restrictions or parameters, many different profiles based within the vehicle or driver. This makes it all too easy to monitor driving habits and fuel efficiency of each and every vehicle, distribute assignments, and oversee status updates. Have it your way. The new infotainment strategy is just the start with the Sprinter's interior overhaul. Mercedes-Benz looked to its passenger cars for a sleek and easy design inspiration. The vans now include a tiered dashboard, a centered row of HVAC buttons, and stylized circular HVAC vents. The interior isn't as luxurious to be a typical Mercedes-Benz since the Sprinter is primarily an effective van. Beyond the infotainment screen, a miniature door armrest pad, along with a few components of metal trim, the inside is usually a plastic paradise. It's neatly organized, but nearly all things are shaped from textured, hard touch panels. The seating position is high. There's no center console separating the driver from your front passenger. There's visible metal within the seats, and interior gaps are apparent. Because Americans are Americans, considered one of their top complaints in regards to the old Sprinter became a dearth of beverage security. So now leading cabin may be configured with as many as 10 cup holders, 5 for every side, including 2 that could hold jumbo fountain drink cups. To accommodate the stress of connected drivers and passengers, Mercedes-Benz added the choice for an integrated Wi-Fi hotspot and many connection points. Wireless charging is optional, and also a mix of USB-C, 12-volt, and 115-volt AC outlets can be obtained. Those who use standard USB ports need adapters, but the technique is Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatible. Other changes include improved seat cushioning along with a driver's seat with optional deleted side bolstering for easier ingress and egress. On passenger models, Mercedes added the alternative for reclining seats inside the rear rows, as well as the process for treatment of rear benches has become simplified. With the revolutionary design, there is usually a lever that unlatches the seats, or they is usually reclined via built-in handles atop the seatbacks. The seats might be removed using integrated rollers about the bottom. They're still heavy, so another person is probably required. Nevertheless, the overall execution is very simple. Power box. Mercedes-Benz claims the Sprinter might be configured greater than 1,700 different methods globally, including, for that first time, with front-wheel drive, a function being promoted for the cheaper entry-level price as well as lowered load floor. A 9-speed automatic transmission is new, plus the 6-speed manual continues to be refined, but neither the manual nor the leading-wheel drive configurations can be obtained in America. Yanks will once again hold the option of rear or all-wheel drive, which enables it to pick from the North America-only gasoline 188 horsepower inland 4 with 258 lb-ft of torque, a 161 horsepower turbodiesel 4-cylinder making 266 lb-ft, or perhaps a 188 horsepower turbodiesel V6 with 325 lb-ft. We spent the vast majority of our driving amount of time in and near Amsterdam behind the wheel on the 316 CDI Tourer, which includes the turbodiesel 4-pair that has a 7-speed automatic delivering torque to your rear wheels. The engine gives a background soundtrack of turbo whistle and diesel gargle, nonetheless it wasn't overly obtrusive. This Sprinter did everything we asked in it and handled demands from the right foot without the need of complaint. The 7-speed is quick to retort and always did actually know exactly which gear to seize. Kickdown requests were responded promptly for confident passing, and also the smooth upshifts were barely noticeable. The only time the van felt remotely sluggish was during hammer-down acceleration, but even so it's no sloth. Amusingly, the 7-speed automatic also incorporates paddle shifters. Although furthermore it will be making its way overseas, we couldn't resist whilst 6-speed manual, which could not have been a superb decision, even as we only wanted more after driving it. The clutch effort is light, as well as the engagement point is straightforward to learn. The gearbox is fun to use, with short shift throws. All Sprinters we drove also had engine stop-start technology, that has been smooth and quiet but also might be turned off. Most of our own driving was held on straight highways or even in traffic, both likely scenarios for van pilots, with not much inside way of curvy roads. For 2019, the rear-wheel drive Sprinter ditches its hydraulic steering rack with an electrically assisted system, as there are zero communication on the ground on the wheel. The steering is slow but builds effort progressively and evenly. More important, the turning radius is surprisingly good. A highlight in the new Sprinter is its ride quality. In cargo, chassis cab, and passenger configurations, the vans felt composed and smooth. With new springs and dampers, the Sprinter was comfortable and quiet and bucked the common reputation of utility vehicle. There were no creaks or squeaks, and the body roll was saved in check, together with the expected swaying intruding only during jerky turns or hard stops. Carried over through the previous generation is Crosswind Assist, which worked its magic from the gusts that will make windmills so prevalent in Holland. This technology, which comes into play at highway speeds, recognizes body tilt, all of which will break a wheel to hold the slab-sided Sprinter in their lane without impacting speed. Even together with the numbed steering, keeping the Sprinter pointed straight isn't much work. For the newest generation, Mercedes-Benz maintained everything good around the Sprinter and improved what needed updating. The clean-sheet cabin can be a significant upgrade in design and introduces a wave of technology specially tailored to optimize the function of a commercial van. New Powertrain offerings expand Awachi good units, and connectivity is one of the best of any Mercedes-Benz vehicle. This latecomer towards the brand is fitting and fantastic.